Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to thank the Chair and Ranking Member for holding this important hearing today, and I want to thank the nominees and their families for their willingness to serve. Governor Huckabee, I know from our conversation earlier, like me, you care deeply about the bonds between the United States and Israel. I have no doubt that if confirmed, you will work tirelessly to strengthen the U.S.-Israel relationship, meet Israel's defense needs, and free all of the remaining hostages held by Hamas. What I do have concerns about, however, is how you will work to maintain a bipartisan U.S. support for Israel and whether you will encourage steps that could one day lead to a durable, lasting peace in the region that finally provides Israel with long-term security. So, Governor Huckabee, to have any chance of achieving what I just laid out, Israel cannot turn into a partisan football here on Capitol Hill. We've already had this discussion. Do you agree with that? And if so, will you commit to maintaining an ongoing, equal communication with both Republican and Democratic offices if confirmed?
Senator, thank you, and it's a very important and valid question to which I can say emphatically that I affirm a commitment that if I am confirmed, I would have a responsibility. It's not just that I would do it because it would be a nice thing to do. It's a responsibility of an ambassador to serve the entire country, certainly to serve the president who appoints me, the policies of this president and the secretary, but it's also a duty to communicate. And it's a conversation that I also had with Ranking Member Shaheen yesterday and committed to her that there would be no difference in the manner in which I would receive a call from someone who's a Democrat or Republican.
Thank you.
Quite frankly, if I could add one thing.
Yes, and then I have another question.
Just real quickly, that I can remember the day when the Democrats were the most reliable supporters of Israel in this
city. And they still are, sir. Well, so I'm going to move to my next question. Based on your previous statements, I do think it's fair to say you're opposed to a two-state solution. So while we both agree that two states living side by side in peace, it's not possible today, particularly with Hamas still in power in Gaza, but I firmly believe this should remain the ultimate goal and inform the U.S. approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, especially after the war in Gaza ends. It's in both Israel's best security interest to reach such an agreement, and the only way to maintain Israel as a Jewish democratic state for the long term. We're in it for the long run. And so given this, do you believe that the U.S. should continue advocating for a future two-state solution? And if not, what is your alternative?
Senator, it's a good question. And quite frankly, I think the question is not, is there a need for people who are Palestinian to be able to live and have a future? The question is where and when. Where will that be? Will it be on top of the Israeli Jewish state, or will it be somewhere that is decided upon that would be completely different, only for those who wish to locate there? And here's my point. Senator, Israel is a tiny little strip of land. You know that. We all do. It's the size of New Jersey. But Muslim countries control 644 times the amount of land that Israel has. They've been surrounded by those who have sought to destroy it, annihilate it. Those who chant from the river to the sea are not bringing about peace. The Palestinians were given the opportunity in the year 2000 when Ehud Barak from Israel put everything on the table, virtually said, 100%, here it is, you get it all, and the Palestinian Liberation Organization walked away from it. The other thing that has to happen is a cultural shift. There can be no peace and two-state solution if there continues to be education from the time a child is 5 and 6 years old living under the Palestinian Authority that says it's okay, in fact, it's desirable to murder Jews and to reward them for it.
I want to build on what we talked about. You spoke earlier about the Abraham Accords, how important that is because a cultural shift, Abraham Accords and other kinds of diplomacy can help lead to that cultural shift. And you and I both agree that Iran presents a major threat to Israel's existence, and the growth of the Abraham Accords is one of the best ways to counter Iranian aggression and start that cultural shift, if you will. So given that a two-state solution central to the Saudis and other Arab partners, and in this broader conversation, I'm running out of time, so maybe you'll let him answer, Chairwoman. How do you propose we expand the Abraham Accords absent of support for a two-state solution?
Through the long process of seeing the culture change. There has to be an admission that Israel has a right to exist. There has to be some recognition that there will be a change in the policy of educating children to hate Jews. That does not lead toward a peaceful coexistence anywhere at any time. And we're seeing the results of that anti-Semitism here in our homeland, which is very distressing to me, I'm sure to you too, Senator, to see people who are raised up with an irrational hatred toward Jewish people. And that cannot lead to any level of peaceful coexistence, whether it's here, there, or anywhere else on the planet.
Madam Chair.